Hi, welcome to my Thursday vlog on bullying. And well, bullying has been on my mind all week. And then today I saw a YouTube video where a teenage student attacked their teacher in class, physically attacked their teacher in class. So the student was listening to music on their headphones, and the teacher asked the student to take off their headphones, and I guess the student became enraged and attacked the teacher, physically attacked them, and then another student had to step in to save them, to save the teacher. I mean, this is really unbelievable that we've come to this point in society where the students are attacking teachers. That's insane. And I actually think this has to do with the violence that we have in movies and videos that is so gratuitous that the kids and the teenagers are playing these games, watching these movies, and they actually lose sight of what is acceptable in reality because they become desensitized. They're living in this virtual world of violence, and they lose perspective of what is acceptable in reality, in society. I mean, it's really mind-numbing and so worrying that we have come to this point in our society. I don't know, I think as parents we just need to start snooping around into our kids' phones, laptops, whatever devices, and just see what the hell are they doing, what are they playing, how are they spending their time. The more you expose a young mind to this kind of violence, the worse off they're obviously going to be as far as reality goes. And I think as parents, I was a single parent for 20 years. I raised a daughter mostly by myself for 20 years of her life. She's 24 years old now, and I think I raised a pretty street smart, good person, but I did my share of snooping. I freaking snooped around her phone and her computer, her laptop, and I couldn't stop everything. I couldn't, stop her from every crazy, stupid thing she did, but I tried my best and I communicated with her. I think that's another thing as parents. We really need to communicate with our teenagers, especially. Sit down at dinner time at a meal and just say, hey, how was your day? What happened? You can tell if there's something bothering them by their behavior. You have to be more aware of your child's behavior and aware of the little nuances of when they speak to you. It just, you have to pay attention as a parent anyways, I think. So, I'd love to hear your comments on this and open up a discussion. Scroll down to the bottom, leave some comments, good or bad. And, I'd like to hear the discussion about this, definitely. And leading into, the other part of bullying in our country is what I feel is really, bullying, but a different kind of bullying. It's that of our Indigenous people. I feel that our civilization doesn't want to deal with or live with Indigenous people. We just seem to want to brush them aside, don't want to live with them or be with them. I don't understand this thinking. I mean, our Indigenous people are the foundation, the roots of this country, of Canada. They are the original dwellers of Canada, of this land, and for us to just brush them aside and sweep them into their reservations, and it's, I don't know, to me it's subhuman somehow that it's come to this. And so this brings me to the article I read yesterday in Metro News Vancouver. It's about the Indigenous women that were killed on Highway 16, which is a highway between Alberta border and Prince Rupert. So basically in the 80s and 90s, there were many Indigenous women, girls, women, as young as 15, who were hitchhiking on this highway, were consequently murdered. To this day, their bodies have never been found. The cases are still open. The killer or killers have never been convicted or sentenced. So, to me, this is a real injustice of the Canada judicial system. I mean, why is this an Indigenous problem? This is a Canada problem, and this is how this is being treated, as an Indigenous problem. Well, that's BS, it's a Canada problem. And this article is about a man his name is Brent Merchant, and he's a senior citizen. He has dementia, and he saw the documentary called Highway of Tears, Highway 16, and he was so touched that he decided to take his dog, and they went on a trek on Highway 16, and he met many Indigenous people, learned a lot about all these cases, the families of these poor murdered girls and women, and he wanted to make a difference. He's a senior with dementia, and this is what he did. And it was amazing. I saw the documentary. It's very sad, very unfair. There's also a documentary on vice.com, VICE.com, called Searchers, the Highway of Tears. And, it just seems like such injustice. This was in the 80s and 90s, and this is the highest number of unsolved cases in BC. All these women that were murdered, their bodies have not been found to this day. So, I do love that Justin Trudeau publicly made a speech, went on public record as to say that he is initiating a national inquiry into the murders, and they're going to start investigating this, and hopefully all this will be brought to justice and closure can come to those poor families. This is also very close to my heart because my niece's friend was murdered at 15 years of age in Delta. Her name was Laura Zendre. It was in 2010, and it took a few months for them to, track down the killer, and he was consequently sentenced to life. He was only 17, almost 18 when he killed her, and it was all over the news. Her name is Laura Zendre, and it's something that changed us forever. And I mean, we are not Laura's family. We were friends, and it changed us forever. And I can't imagine what it's done to Laura's family. They will never be the same. We will never be the same. And, we need to just bring justice to these poor Indigenous women. And I'm hoping and praying that the RCMP and all these investigations that are hopefully going to become stronger will bring closure and will convict those responsible for taking all those lives. Okay, until next time, peace.